want to talk about boundaries. We all have them. Most of the time, we're completely unconscious about them until somebody steps over our boundary, and then we'll often feel frustrated, or we'll feel resistance, or we'll want to push back. So what do I mean by a boundary? Well, a boundary is, what is it that is okay for me? And what is okay for us as a team? What are the guidelines within which we operate? And how do we know when it's okay and when it's not? And usually a boundary, we tend to think about them, but if we think about from an embodied self-awareness point of view, if we pay attention to our bodies, we usually feel discomfort. Now, for some it will be in your stomach, some it will be in your chest, sometimes it might be you tense your arms or your legs, but usually we'll create tension in our bodies when somebody steps over a boundary. So the more you can start to pay attention to your own embodied self-awareness, the more you can start to spot when somebody steps over your boundary, like what's okay for you and what's not okay. And how do you hold those boundaries for yourself and for each other with compassion? And part of that is about being honest about what's okay and what's not. And often we will find boundaries get stepped over by people, and instead of saying, that's not okay for me, we put up with it and we tolerate it because we want to be in harmony with the team. And what that does is it creates tension under the surface. And so that becomes a hidden dynamic that impacts the team's performance. And what we need to be able to do is have a quality of conversation and have those vulnerable, difficult conversations where we just go, actually, that's not okay for me. And no judgment, no blame, just that's not okay for me. So how do we be in relationship in a different way where that boundary is not stepped over? So it's not about pushing people away, it's about bringing people in, but with the clarity of what's okay for you and what's okay for them and what's okay for your team.